I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse. Rather, 10 times die in the surf, heralding the way to a new world, than stand idly on the shore. The very first requirement in a hospital is that it should do the sick no harm. Live life when you have it. Life is a splendid gift. There is nothing small about it. Were there none who were discontented with what they have, the world would never reach anything better. To understand God's thoughts, we must study statistics, for these are the measure of His purpose. Nursing is a progressive art, such that to stand still is to go backwards. Nature alone cures. What nursing has to do is to put the patient in the best condition for nature to act upon him. Woman has nothing but her affections, and this makes her at once more loving and less loved. Unless we are making progress in our nursing every year, every month, every week, take my word for it, we are going back. What cruel mistakes are sometimes made by benevolent men and women in matters of business about which they can know nothing and think they know a great deal. Apprehension, uncertainty, waiting, expectation, fear of surprise do a patient more harm than any exertion. Remember my name, you'll be screaming it later. The most important practical lesson then can be given to nurses is to teach them what to observe. For the sick it is important to have the best. Our first journey is to find that special place for us. If a patient is cold, if a patient is feverish, if a patient is faint, if he is sick after taking food, if he has a bed sore, it is generally the fault not of the disease, but of the nursing. Unnecessary noise is the most cruel abuse of care, which can be inflicted on either the sick or the well. Nursing is an art, and if it is to be made an art, it requires an exclusive devotion, as hard a preparation as any painter's or sculptor's work. Let us never consider ourselves finished nurses. We must be learning all of our lives. Jesus Christ raised women above the condition of mere slaves, mere ministers to the passions of the man, raised them by His sympathy to be ministers of God. God spoke to me and called me to His service. What form this service was to take the voice did not say. Why do people sit up so late, or, more rarely, get up so early? Not because the day is not long enough, but because they have no time in a day to themselves. How very little can be done under the spirit of fear. Wise and humane management of the patient is the best safeguard against infection. By mortifying vanity, we do ourselves no good. It is the want of interest in our life which produces it. By filling up that want of interest in our life, we can alone remedy it. That religion is not devotion, but work and suffering for the love of God. This is the true doctrine of mystics. She said the object and color in the materials around us actually have a physical effect on us, on how we feel. I think one's feelings waste themselves in words. They ought all to be distilled into actions which bring results. Women have no sympathy, and my experience of women is almost as large as Europe. The world is put back by the death of everyone who has to sacrifice the development of his or her peculiar gifts to conventionality. The greatest heroes are those who do their duty in the daily grind of domestic affairs whilst the world whirls as a maddening dreidel. I have lived and slept in the same bed with English countesses and Prussian farm women. No woman has excited passions among women more than I have.